Clara Moore moved into an old Victorian apartment in Manchester, hoping for a quiet, fresh start after a bitter breakup and the stress of still life. The building stood on a narrow street, tucked between crumbling brick shops and a church that hadn't rung its bell in the sights. Miss Wren, the elderly landlady, handed over the case with a shaking smile. "Leave a light on at night, dear. This flat doesn't take kindly to the dark." Clara gave a polite chuckle. Superstition, she thought. She was used to people like this. The first few nights passed quietly. Place was old but cozy, creaky floorboards, faded wallpaper, and a certain dusty charm. But by the fourth night, something shifted. She began waking up at 3 a.m. Not to sounds, but to a sensation, like someone was watching her, standing in the corner. Not moving, just watching. One morning, she found her perfume bottle on the bathroom sink, even though she always left it on the dresser. A few days later, her brows were wrinkled. The more it happened, the more she questioned her own memory. Was she just stressed? Things escalated. When she passed the hallway mirror, she occasionally glimpsed a shadow behind her, tall, motionless. But when she turned, there was nothing. Then came the message, written in fog on the bathroom mirror after a shower. "I'm still here." She called Jonathan, shaking, asking for advice. He told her to set up a camera, just to be sure. So that night, Clara placed her phone on a shelf facing her bed and had it record. The next morning, she watched the video. At exactly 3:11 a.m., a faint, blurry figure appeared in the corner of the room. It didn't move. It simply stared for hours at her. The next night, the same thing, only now it was a few steps closer. Clara had enough. She packed to leave. When she told Mrs. Wren what she'd seen, landlady's expression turned cold and her regretted. "I know," she said. "I told it someone new was coming. It doesn't like to be alone." Clara froze. Her heart pounded as she rushed to the door, but it wouldn't open. The latch was twisted from the inside. She hadn't touched it. She turned to the hallway mirror, and behind her, two black eyes stared back at her through the reflection. But when she spun around, the hallway was empty. The last shot, Clara's reflection starts smiling, but Clara herself doesn't move. "Now you get to be the watcher." Deep in the Scottish Highlands lies an abandoned village called Black Hollow, a place buried by time and silence. But it's not entirely forgotten. A legend remains that at the heart of the village stands a stone well, and every full moon it screams. Al Sanders, along with his crew Mia and Travis, run a small YouTube channel dedicated to uncovering paranormal myths. They decide to investigate the well and film a nighttime special. Only one person still lives in Black Hollow. A one-eyed man named Malcolm. He warns them as they set up their gear. That wall doesn't scream for nothing. Every time it cries, it's because it's hungry, and someone always disappears. They dismiss it as local folklore. That night, the full moon lights the fog. drenched ruins. At 2:13 a.m., the first scream rises from the well. It's human, female, agonist. The sound echoes through the stones. The team goes silent. Mia whispers, was that? A recording. Ellie checks the gear. It's real. No feedback, no speaker tricks. Then the well speaks again. A whisper this time. Come down. The equipment begins to malfunction. GPS fails. Compasses spin. The air grows heavy. Travis walks toward the well. Dazed, eyes wide. He leans over the edge, smiles softly, and jumps. Mia screams. Ella peers into the darkness, calling Travis' name, but the void swallows all sound. Then Ella vanishes, just like that. Mia, alone and shaking, tries to run, but every path out leads back to the well. Time collapses. She cries, she begs, she kneels by the stone ring and sees something carved into it freshly. You're next. The next day, a hacker finds a mud-covered camera near the edge of the forest. On the memory card, a video file plays. Mia, weeping, speaks into the lens. I can't leave. I tried. I think I'm part of it now. The well needs someone to scream. And next full moon, you will hear me. Noah files lived alone in a quiet apartment complex in Portland. He worked from home, rarely left the building, and kept to himself. At first, it was small things. A coffee mug moved from the kitchen to the bathroom sink. A pen had left on his desk was now inside the fridge. He figured he was just distracted, sleep deprived. But then, one morning, he woke to find a new text document open on his computer. I live here too. He changed his passwords. He ran virus scans. Nothing. Next night, he set up a webcam to record while he slept. At 2:48 a.m., the footage showed his bedroom door slowly opening. The hallway light flickered. Then, the chair by his bed pulled itself out. Nothing was visible, no person, just movement. That same night, Noah woke choking. His throat burned. In the mirror the next morning, he saw faint bruises on his neck, finger-shaped. He sought out Dr. Hayes, a local therapist, who suggested sleep paralysis or hallucination brought on by stress. Noah wanted to believe it, until he found the writing above his bed, on the ceiling, written in faint pencil. Why won't you see me? He confronted his landlord, Mr. Lambert, who finally told him the truth. Years ago, a woman had died in that very night, alone, unnoticed, for weeks. Her body was found exactly where Noah's bed now stood. She had no family, no visitors, just vanished into silence. Noah searched the attic space above the ceiling tiles and found a small, dusty box. Inside, an old journal, hair clips, and a note written in shaky handwriting. All I ever wanted was not to be alone. That night, Noah filmed again. In the morning, the footage showed something terrifying. He was sitting up in bed, speaking to someone, but no one was there. You don't have to be alone anymore, he whispered. I will stay, I promise. The final frame, Noah turns to face the camera. Behind him, a pale figure flickers into visibility for just 1 second. Hollow eyes, a grin, the darkness. No, you are never alone.